This could be the perfect time for you to grab a bargain whilst buying a brand new driver in 2023. Hi everyone, my name is James Robinson and welcome to the channel. In today's video we're looking at a set number of drivers which may well be becoming obsolete in the next few weeks, which means you could well get a deal of a century when buying a new driver. You see, in 2022 we saw the release of the Taylormade Stealth, the Cobra LTDX, the Callaway Rogue St, the Ping G430, which was actually from 2021, and the Titleist TSi3, which now we already know has been changed to the Titleist TSi3. So looking at the Titleist itself, you can now pick one of those up for just over £300 as opposed to nearly £500 when they were brand new. Is the Titleist TSi3 still a good performing driver? Yes. Should you potentially look at one of those if you want to spend less money? Yes. And what about if the same happens to the Callaway Rogue, the Taylormade Stealth, the Cobra LTDX, and so on and so forth? So in today's video, I'm going to hit a few shots here at Woolley Park Golf Club in the simulator room. Thank you guys for having us out. What a fantastic setting it is. And we're going to see, should you buy one of these drivers? And if so, which one? And how much could you potentially get them for? Especially if we know a couple of new clubs may well be on the horizon that we can't yet talk about, depending if what hemisphere you're on or if you're Alex Etchers. Who, me?
Oh, I had a busy day.
Who, me? Right, so guys, I'm going to kick things off with the Callaway Rogue St. I really enjoyed this driver. This one is fitted in my specs like a couple of the drivers that I have here today are. This is the LS version, the lower spin version. I've got the Ping G430 LS, I've got the Taylormade Stealth, and I've got a few other ones for us. Let's see if we can get a longest drive out here at the Farms, one of my favourite holes. And that is a great start. Chris actually watched my warm-up today and he couldn't believe how well I have been hitting it. This is the thing, so that's carried 276, 277 yards. I've hit it out the middle and I could potentially get this driver for a little bit cheaper than whatever Callaway's new driver might be if it comes out. We've all seen a few pictures, haven't we? Now that was a pretty good start for the Callaway. Let's see if we can get that ball speed up. It wasn't the highest ball speed we've ever had, but the carry distance was quite good. Guys, how much would you expect to see more distance-wise in the 2023 driver as opposed to maybe the 2022 driver? Are you going to just see more forgiveness, or do you want to see more ball speed with your good hits? Just down the fairway. That's another good hit as well. Oh, that one just creeping a little bit left. It's going to be a long carry though. So next up, guys, we have the Ping G430 LS Tech. This is a club which it's been around, it feels like it's been around forever now. And I've actually seen a picture. I've seen Alex Etchers' review. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to talk about it, but the new one does look really, really nice, doesn't it? And I've heard that it sounds nice as well. Let's see if we can get one out here. So we'll have a look in a minute how much you can pick a G430 up for as well, because you could save yourself a fortune. The one thing I didn't really like about with this club was that sound. So if they have improved that for the new one, that's something I might look to jump into. Straight away, that's a 280 yard carry. The sound could well be forgiven if that is what we are getting. That is left. That is horrible. Oh dear. Right, not the best tee shot there, guys. We are going to look at dispersion as well in this video, as well as the numbers, as well as the distance. Comment below, would you take an extra 5 or 10 yards if you miss a few more fairways? I mean, in fairness, that one wasn't just a missed fairway, was it? You can see on screen there, that one wasn't a good tee shot. That one's following it as well, but that felt like a really strong, powerful swing. Another 270 odd carry. So we have seen last year's Ping, we've seen last year's or this year's Callaway. Now what about the Cobra? Because we may have heard something maybe in the pipeline from Cobra as well. So if you can get yourself a Cobra LTDX for a decent price, should you look at it? Should you try and save yourself a couple of £100? I love the look of this on top. And I love, look at that down that line, because I've not moved the line, so that one's going to look strange for, that is absolutely massive. That one's going to look strange for the dispersion, but I've just not moved the line. I'll move that line. So one of the biggest problems you may have if you are looking to buy a driver like this, maybe last year's model, this year's model that may be becoming obsolete, is finding somewhere to be able to test them, to try them, and do what we're doing here, just having some fun, seeing how far we can get them out there. Let's see how far we can crank this Cobra out. That felt really, really good. And I just think if you are gonna buy a driver like this and save yourself some money, that money could go towards green fees, towards lessons, towards helping you get what you want to get out of your golf, instead of just having the latest, greatest, biggest name to see in your bag. That one was massive. Right, 2 really nice straight shots with the Cobra. Can we make it a third? Ooh, that one's just leaking. That's in the garden, Chris. That's in Mickelson's back garden, I'm afraid. And that's what I did find with this driver when testing it. When I got it out the middle, it's going backwards, that one. When I got it out the middle, it was really, really good. It wasn't that forgiving. This is the low spin version. It is the slightly smaller headed version with the weight push forwards. And when I didn't get it, you can see there that carry is 15 yards less than the previous one. Right, next up we have a club which I've had in my bag for quite some time now, the Taylormade Stealth. I've really, really enjoyed this club. Got fitted for it at the start of the year when it came out. And I've just enjoyed it. For me, it was probably the best performing driver of the year. And if we do see something new from Taylormade, these will drop in price. It's just if you can get them, how many are going to be left in stock? That's going to be the issue. So some big drives so far. I have been working on the game a little bit during the festive season. What's this set on? Standard. It looked like it had more loft on it, that, but it hasn't. A little leaky one. Is that in the garden again? Really interesting, guys, when you are testing golf clubs like this, you are jumping in and out of golf clubs, it's important to be really honest with yourself about how you're swinging with the certain golf club in the bag. It's important to think, am I hitting that first one good, but the second one my swings maybe disappeared a little bit? Am I hitting them all out the middle of the face? Or is one just massively outperforming all the rest? In which case, that makes your mind up for you. Very rare do you see that. I don't see that often. That was one of the best swings of the day. Speaking of golf swings, obviously it does help putting a good one on it. Can we fly that bunker? Oh, just now. So the final club is a club that has already been made obsolete and is already an older club. Obviously we now have the Titleist TSi range. The TS range really did change it up for Titleist when they started ditching the 915, 917, that kind of club. And I really, really enjoyed it. For one, this is the club that gave me the idea to do this video for you guys, because you can pick one of these up for around 300, 350 pounds, depending on where you go, instead of paying the full fee for the 2022 TSR. And the biggest positive for me that Titleist have done really well with the TSR is they haven't changed it too much. The TSi3 was a fantastic club, is a fantastic club. This is a half an inch shorter than the other clubs. I would expect a little bit less ball speed, but maybe hit it a touch straighter. There's another one down that fairway. Guys, do me a favour, get in the comments below, which club out of these 5 would you look at potentially getting? Have I missed some clubs? Would you go PXG? Would you go Strixon? Would you go Mizuno? And looking at these numbers, which one would you recommend that I get if I was going to go and get myself? If you went one of these clubs second hand, you would save yourself an absolute fortune. That is a knuckleball. I love how this club felt and sounded. That's a line ball, is it? Oh, and I absolutely love the 3-wood in this as well. The 3-wood in the TSi was one of the best clubs I've ever had in the bag. I actually struggled to take it out, and guess which one's in there now? The TSR. Right guys, last shot then, we're going to have a look at all these numbers. I'll be amazed if there's a lot of difference in here. I feel like I've swung quite consistently today, swung quite well. I've had the occasional miss hit, but most of them have been pretty central. Dispersion wise, it's the Ping that was the worst one actually, but last shot. Oh, that one's a high righter again. The Titleist let me down there. Guys, let's look at these numbers. Let's see which club has performed best for me if I wanted to say, oh dear. If I want to save myself some money moving into 2023, play some good courses and maybe get some lessons as well. So as you can see, some fluctuations in the numbers there regarding ball speed and spin rate, but the carry distances and total distances are all up there in the 270s. I even touched 280 average with the Cobra. For me, if I'm going to save loads of money and still hit these drives, I know I can play good golf, I know I can enjoy my golf, and I might be able to save a pretty penny as well. Guys, some very interesting numbers there. As you can see, very similar numbers. I have only hit 3 shots with each. Obviously, if I were to stand here and hit 10, 15 shots with each driver, you might start to see more discrepancies. You might start to see more differences. Guys, get in the comments below, could you see yourself doing what I've done there? Maybe looking for a slightly older generation driver, save yourself some money and put that money towards lessons, green fees, anything golf related. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you do check out all the content coming in the new year with new product coming. And apart from that, I'll see you all exactly at the same time tomorrow.